Okay, we're going to try this in one quick take. Hi, this is Steve. I'd like to show you some of the books that I've picked up this week and have a few more comments about some films I've seen. I'm going to start right off. We have Hellboy, The Fury, one of three. This should wrap things up about Hellboy as the true king of England, and start to bring him back to the Bureau. And speaking of the Bureau, we have The Dead Remembered. This is the third part of this story that talks about Liz Sherman, her origin, what brought her to the Bureau, the death of her parents, and how she initially began to deal with it, her relationship with Hellboy and some of the other people in the Bureau. Great job, Mike Mignola, can't go wrong. Third book in the Mignola-verse, Sir Edward Grey, Witchfinder. This is issue number 5 of Lost and Gone Forever. Sir Edward goes to the American West. There are Native Americans, there are Indians, well, Indians are Native Americans, shootouts, and amazing art by the great John Severin, who into his 80s continues to be one of the great Western artists and one of the great comic book artists. We should be thankful that he's still around and still putting out material like that. Speaking of Westerns, we have Jonah Hex, number 68 by Gray, Pelmonte, and Garris. I guess things are wrapping up. I really don't know what they're going to do. There's what? This is, I guess, this says the August issue. I guess the September issues are going to be the last ones. We're going to have a return of the All-Star Western, which is going to bring Jonah to Gotham City. Why? I don't know. Will I give it a try? Yes. Probably one of the only DC books, or one of the few that I'm going to be getting. Haunt by Kirkman and McFarlane. Really nice cover by Capullo, who also works on the art on this issue. Again, great book if you're a fan of Spawn, a fan of Kirkman's work. Something a little different in the superhero genre. Let's look at a Vertigo title, American Vampire. This is a mini-series spun off from that. This is Survival of the Fittest. Nazi vampires. Two great evils that go well together, right? Wouldn't be the first Nazi vampire. I think just about, just seems natural, considering the supernatural stuff that Hitler was into, right? Okay. Continuing right along, and I don't think I saw this among the titles or any of the first wave characters. This is Doc Savage, number 15. I keep thinking that each issue is going to be the last. But it says on the last page here to be continued. So what, 1 or 2 more issues? Does anybody know what's going on with the first wave characters? Does anybody but me care at this point? Sherlock Holmes Year 1. This is issue number 2. Somehow I ended up with issues 1 and 4. I have number 3 on back order. Looking forward to it. I'll read issue 2, but I'm not reading 4 until I finally get my hands on number 3. This is by Scott Beatty, a really good writer, illustrated by Daniel Indro, who I'm not familiar with, but does a really nice job on the Victorian era. So kudos to those guys. And thanks to Dynamite for putting that out. Let's get back to Dark Horse for a second. Issue number 2 of Solomon Kane, Red Shadows. This is 2 of 4. This is written by Bruce Jones, another good writer. Art by Rashan Kadal, whose name I've completely blown. But by God, that's a Guy Davis cover. You can't miss that. Love Guy Davis. And I'm sorry he's going to be doing less work over there. Walking Dead Survivor Guide, issue number 3. If you're interested in Walking Dead, whether the TV show or the series, the comic book series, I really recommend you get the Survivor's Guide. Because again, some of the characters that you see on TV are here, plus you can read this and sort of catch up with what how the characters came about, how they met, and how they got to where they are in the current series. If you're not reading the paperbacks, and if you're not, why not? I love it. This is really nice. For the folks from IDW, this is Rocketeer Adventures number 2. Is that a great cover or what? Who did the cover on this one? Alex Ross, right? Was it? Alex Ross and Dave Stevens. That is really good. Stories in here by Mark Waid, Darren Cook, and Lowell Francis. Art by Gene Haar, Geoff Darrow, Darren Cook, who draws his own story, and Chris Weston. There's the color on all this is by Dave Stewart, who's one of the best colorists working in comics. Basically, if you wondered what happened to the Rocketeer and you miss it, these folks are doing very respectable work with a great character. I've been looking forward to this. What we have here is the Grim Ghost. Anybody who was around in the, I want to say, mid-70s may remember the short-lived Atlas Comics groups. Martin Goodman, some other folks who had been at Marvel decided to try again unsuccessfully, but they did have some great work there by Wally Wood, Steve Ditko, a lot of other artists who had worked for Marvel. Anyways, 2 years it lasted. Nice attempt, but things really didn't click, unfortunately. This is a new attempt to bring this back. They're written by Tony Isabella, art by Steve Sisko. I have not read these yet, but I have rarely, if ever, been disappointed by the writing of Tony Isabella, who's also a friend, and I'm very happy that I can say that and mean it. Tony's a good guy. Unfortunately, he has gotten shafted by a very major publisher, and we know who that is. Right, Time Warner / DC, you bastards. Give the man his character back. At least let him write it. No one has done Black Lightning like the man who created it, Tony Isabella. That's it. That's what I have to go. That's what I'm looking forward to reading and cataloging. Haven't read any of them yet. Right now, as a matter of fact, I'm reading Catching Fire, which is the second part of the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. which is soon to be a major motion picture with some very big names. Donald Sutherland, Woody Harrelson, a lot of other very well-known actors are going to be appearing in it. Highly recommended. It's the same thing as with Harry Potter. People kept saying, "You got to read it. I can't believe you're not reading it." And finally I said, "Oh, it's a book about teenage wizards, and who cares?" And I picked it up and fell in love with it, right? And much the same thing with Hunger Games, which is I don't want to get involved in libel slander, but there is a manga, Japanese manga series and films, and also anime, I believe, called Battle Royale, which involves a dystopian future where teens are forced to fight each other. If that sounds familiar, okay. If not, Google it, but read the series. If not 100% original, at least it is really good. It's well written. There's a lot of action. You really feel for the characters. Collins does a wonderful job with something which some people probably couldn't pull off half as well. They would be lucky to make it interesting for one book, let alone 3. The characters are really good. Katniss, Prim, Gale, their mom, the characters that you meet at the Hunger Games, the characters you meet in the districts, President Snow, yes, ooh, going to be played by Sutherland, who doesn't look anything like the character in the book, but can play evil, man. That's it. That's it for me. I enjoyed Green Lantern. I know people are bashing it. I don't care. You've probably seen my review earlier. I enjoyed it. People are getting really high praise to Super 8. It seemed to have dropped an audience share with the appearance of Green Lantern and Mr. Peeper's Piss Ants, or whatever that Jim Carrey film is called. How can you destroy one of my favorite books of my childhood? Jim Carrey. Anyway, the next thing I'm looking forward to is Captain America. Check out Falling Sky on TNT. Brilliant. Even if I didn't know one of the writers and producers, I would still say that. Captain America looks really good. Check out the new trailer. I mean, if I didn't want to see it before, and I did, the second trailer, that nails it, man. Red Skull to Captain America. What makes you so special? Captain America the Red Skull. Nothing. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. Peace out.